let's check my live. So now we're going to go ahead and go over to, I don't know, Creator. Live Studio, no. Creator Hub. Center, maybe. Alright, so I'm live right now. I'm trying to figure out how the heck the live works. Analytics, real-time performance, content. It's an old video. We're not worried about that. Where's the one that I can see my actual live now? Does anybody know how to do this? I don't know. If anybody knows how to work these work these lives, let me know. Cause all right, so I've got to get this work done. I've got some build work to finish. I'd like to see your guys' comments on TikTok if I could actually do the live and watch it. So let me go to profile right here. Oh, I can click my own live maybe? Alright, maybe that works. Alright, cool. So now I'm on TikTok. Now I can see the live. Now I can see your guys' comments. I don't have Facebook and YouTube up yet. Facebook, pull YouTube out. Put YouTube up on a square. Put you guys in the corner. Put Facebook over there. Put that over there. And now let's do TikTok. Where's TikTok at? Where'd you guys go? And right there. Ta-da! This sucks. Okay, cool. Whatever. I'll just stay on TikTok for a little bit, and I'll hop on Facebook and YouTube in a minute. I'll figure out this methodology. I try to see if I can follow you guys' comments sometimes. I try to get in there and say hello, but maybe one of these days I'll figure out how to do it all the best way. We're working on some RG-400. Anybody who doesn't know what this stuff is, I can definitely make some more, give you more of an explanation of what it is at any point if you'd like to know. This is a FEP, is a type of fluoropolymer. It's a type of Coax. It's used in aeronautics and aerospace a lot. So it's just showing you how to build this stuff. This is more of a tutorial based video rather than a watch and don't say anything video. So if you guys got questions, feel free to hop on here and ask. I've went as far as explaining how to solder and all kinds of other stuff to you guys before. Let's pull you guys in a little closer and we'll test the bird meter here in a little bit. There we go. Down here we go. Zoom in just a little bit. Like that. I think it should be pretty good. What do you guys think? Let's check Facebook and YouTube. Let me just zoom in rather than moving this. So, something like that. So, what I'm going to do is get a soldering iron to this, but I got to tighten this up first. So, we'll get some pliers right here, if I can find them. These right here, and these right here. You gotta lock this reducer down into place. What I do a lot of times is if I'm using like a PVC style jacket wire, I'll move the reducer. But when I'm doing these low friction coefficient wires like RG-393 and RG-400, a lot of times I'll move the body of the coax. Alright. Center conductor's here, shield is around here. It's locked in, but we want to make this more permanent. So what are we going to do? Xfinity. It ain't quite Xfinity stuff, but definitely is something different for sure. Alright, so now I'm going to look real quick at my live and make sure I'm on Wi-Fi. So, yeah. It's telling me my live is a little slow. Maybe because I got 4 different videos playing in the background. We'll edit this stuff at some point. But yeah, I'm going to minimize this one over here. Check you guys out over here on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. Hope you guys are doing well over there. TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm holding heat on this joint. Now that wasn't ideal, but luckily it's not hot enough to matter. So what I'll do is I'll take a tool and clean that off. Before it builds up. So ideally you want to keep all this centered onto the joint itself. That is hot, so be careful. Let's go to YouTube, Facebook. Hello on Facebook. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's go to YouTube land. So you can see how I'm holding this on the back side and on the front right here. Making sure I'm careful with how I'm holding it. Just trying to hop in on here for YouTube so you guys can see what's going on. Yes. You can solder an Xbox 360. There are all kinds of other different surface mount components you can solder. I do work on surface mount. I do not work on it for the public. So do not, I will not do that. I fixed a PlayStation 3 before. I fixed the Blu-ray drive on it. You can do what's called solder reflow on several different components. But this is kind of how you solder on anything. Doesn't matter if it's a telephone, doesn't matter if it's a piece of coax, or anything. It doesn't matter, any type of electronics. This is how you solder. There is a type of soldering called hot air. So you have to preheat the source. So it's similar to what I'm going to be doing now. See, if I solder right here on a big source like this, and I try to add solder, what happens is it won't bond. See, the solder's here, but it's not sucked into the joint. So what I'll do is I'll do some sort of torch or whatever to heat it up. So if you watch, the solder will actually suck and wick into that joint. So with preheating, what that does is you heat up the whole circuit board to like 200-300 degrees or something like that, to something that's safe for the whole board to run up to. And then you flow hot air on that joint until the solder would melt, like that torch did. And then it sucks into each individual trace if you've got the appropriate amount of flux on there. So hot air is a little different than the way traditional soldering is. It's a little bit more bulky and a little bit less precise, let's just say. I use a soldering pencil all the way down to 402 packages, which is a very small package. That's like your surface mount stuff that's in a cell phone, that's in your Xboxes and PlayStations and televisions and stuff like that. So I'm just holding this still while I solder this. But yes, you can work on anything. Like I can take it apart this Bluetooth speaker and work on it and do whatever I need to on it. If you understand soldering and electronic components, you can work on a lot of stuff. But this is the basic concepts of soldering. You have to understand how to solder before you can kind of work a hot air gun. You have to understand how metals work together, how certain metals are actually able to be bonded to, and other metals are not. How the melting temperature of solder and several other different things. Chemistry, I guess, is going to help you a little bit more than most other things would. A lot of guys will get why is the solder not bonded to this aluminum? Because it's not going to. It's aluminum. Copper, tin, silver. Some brass, you can solder to that. And then there's other types of connecting. It's called brazing. That's another way of connecting two materials together, but it's a lot higher temperature. So, he's all bonded all the way around, working good. So I'm going to clean up my joint a little bit. I'll be hop back on here on TikTok, check you guys out. Hello TikTok, hope you guys are doing well. Where are you guys at? TikTok. Where'd TikTok go? Is it over here? I don't think that's it, but whatever. I'm gonna go in here. Hope you guys are doing well in here. Don't know how to see who all's here, but yeah, this is how she works. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and go on to another solder joint, and I'll show you guys how this works. We'll show you how to strip the coax back, and then we'll work on it from there. Again, soldering techniques can be applied to anything. It really doesn't matter. Like, you can work on a switch like this. You can solder on a large piece of copper like this. You can get into a small piece of electronics like a computer mouse. If you understand soldering, there's a lot of things you can do. I wouldn't say the possibilities are endless, but when it comes to electronics, there's a ton of stuff you can do. So what I'm doing here, like I said, is working on some coax, but like I said, these techniques can be applied to anything really. I'm unbraiding a double braided shield right here. This is a silver plated copper shield. So let me zoom in a better spot for you guys on TikTok over there. You guys can see what's going on a little bit better if I move it over here. And Facebook, I'll zoom in a little bit. Let's pull in down here. There we go. So now you guys can both see a little bit what I'm doing without having to be so far away. So, hello. Hope you guys are doing well everywhere. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, all of them. Alright, let's keep on. So, I need to fan this braid out where it's nice and even. Alright. Now I'm getting ahead of myself. So what I'm going to do is I've not prepared this end and this end. So look, I prepared myself. I put a zip tie in place here. I prepared and put a zip tie in place here. I did not prepare on this one or this one. So what I have to do is fan that back up, and let's throw some more components on here. Let you guys see how that works. So we'll get, we need 1, 2, 3, 4. That's prepared. This is not. That's prepared. And now we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I should be working on some 7/8 right now, but the issue is with the 7/8 that I'm supposed to be working on, I'm still waiting on some parts for it. so it's messing me up a little bit. Kind of putting me behind on that order. Not bad, but definitely kind of putting a hamper on the order. All right. So we'll use a torch right here. You're just creating a dielectric gap in general. Doesn't matter what you're using specifically. You just want to make sure there's dielectric spacing to work with. Now, pull that back off like a dummy again. I was trying to get ahead of myself. Let's pull this braid forward. Slide this reducer on. Now, we'll slide our center body of our connector on here. Before we slide this body on, slide the way I'll tighten this up. This is exactly the way I did a while ago. Already had that one prepped and ready. You guys can see what I'm doing here. If you guys got questions on TikTok, feel free to ask. Is it froze? Because what I'm seeing is froze. Oh, it's just paused. Well, that's stupid. Alright. Anybody on Facebook or TikTok or YouTube got any questions, or Twitch got any questions, y'all feel free to hop in here and ask. Can't see as much what's going on in here. I don't know if it's the same. Hello Jeff, hello Tim, hello Roger. I hope you guys are doing well. Steve, what's up? I need to start saying hello to the guys who pop in here. What's up, Preston? Hope you guys are doing well. We're doing Clean Freak. What's up? You guys are in and out, but that's what happens when things come on your For You page. You want to figure out whether or not you like it or you don't like it. Showing you guys how to solder right now. This is a piece of RG-400. This is a Teflon style Coax. It uses a fluoropolymer exterior jacket. Uses a Teflon center conductor, or excuse me, Teflon dielectric. I apologize. Center conductor is going to be a silver-plated copper. What's up, Chaz? Chuck, hello, hello. Cletus, waving a hand, man. This one specifically is not for Cletus, but this is for some more guys. Now, I'm sure Cletus would let you guys know if it was for him. He gets some goodies a lot of times, but I've got several pieces of RG-400 to finish up right here. So, got to put a couple. I got to prepare in advance a little bit by throwing this reducer on here to make sure I don't do what I was about to do a while ago. Throw this in place. That one can go back over there, and back over there. And then we'll throw this one in line and get it ready. Got one more end. one on each side to throw on this one. Pull that reducer off, or that ring off, excuse me. Reducer over here. What's up, Big Ben? Hope you're doing well. I didn't see. I apologize. I didn't look at my. Actually, let me look at my orders. I got over here. I can go right over here to my orders. Let's go to this one right here. I can click that. I don't see an order. No, I do not have one. So we can minimize that one, go back over here. So, one more zip tie over here. I'm going to test the bird meter in a minute, so we'll go ahead and test it. Then I'll be testing the slug out, a few other things. I've got to partially rebuild my bench because I took some of it apart. Take some of the stuff out of line and change it up just a little bit. So I'll be working on that here in just a minute. You guys will see me doing a little bit of rebuilding. It looks like I keep clicking pause on TikTok on accident. All right. YouTube and Facebook land, how you guys doing over there? Let me check out your questions real quick, KK7. KK7, I'm gonna hop over there real quick on YouTube and see your comment. YouTube. Where is YouTube? All right. So, hello. I'm Ron Peters, and I've had issues with the Coax. I was using RG-8 Slim and got 35 watts through, 85 reflected. Any ideas? I think the issue might be my soldering job and or the link/velocity factor. Okay, so if you have a high amount of reflect, it's pretty easy to figure that one out. So that's just all reflect is a measure of your line to load impedance. So if you have a high impedance mismatch anywhere in the system, what's going to happen is you of course see a lot of reflected power. So you could check your terminations. It could be that you could have something in line that's causing a termination problem. Typically, velocity factor is used a lot of times whenever you're using a mono-banded setup. If you're multi-banded, you're going to focus a lot more on trying to have what's called a purely resistive load or having a really good matching network or a really good tuner in line. If you have a good tuner in line, it can take the inductive and capacitive reactance in the system and cancel each other out, and it can re-reflect that higher SWR back out the antenna. Now, for the simpler mono-banded guys, then what we're trying to do for those guys is one, save them a piece of equipment, and two, trying to allow them to be as accurate as possible with the equipment that they have in line. So, a couple different things that can happen. Main thing is just check your terminations on everything, make sure everything's right. If you've got a poor solder joint somewhere or a poor connection on your shield, which on RG-8 is going to happen a lot. Duplexer in the transmitter. So if you have an analyzer, try to run a sweep on it, and you can check the coax. A lot of times, what I'll do is I'll take. What I have is a little bit more complicated than most, but like this is like a 1.5 gig rig expert. So what I'll do is I'll hook it up. I'll hook up a dummy load to the other end. Doesn't matter what kind of dummy load. Ideally, you're just looking for a fixed, purely resistive load. It could be a 75 ohm dummy load. It could be a 100 ohm dummy load. It could be a 50 ohm dummy load. It doesn't matter. But what you're doing is hooking something up to the other end. You're going to flex both ends. You're going to run a sweep on it, and you're going to see if the cable starts going crazy on you. If you don't have this, just have a simple SWR meter, and then wiggle the coax cable and see if you can get it to fluctuate. If it hasn't caused any damage on your equipment, and your equipment is capable of a high VSWR load, then what you can do is you can actually do that flexing with it in line in your equipment. Not exactly ideal if you have something that's kind of not very tolerant to a high SWR. That's why I like to use those analyzers, because they use a very low wattage and they can handle a very high load. like the load impedance could go to infinity for relatively forever, and it wouldn't damage the analyzer. So that's what's going to help you a lot. I would lean more towards poor termination or something failing in that situation. Now, also, when you got duplexers and things like that, it also depends on basically the tuning on each. Have you checked what your actual tuning is out to each antenna? That would be the other thing. If it's not, if you've verified good SWR all the way to the point where it goes in the duplexer to the repeater, then what you want to do is, or duplexer in the transmitter, what you want to do is just try a different jumper. That's a simple solution for you. It's kind of sounds like I'm being facetious about it or just being weird, but it's definitely a super easy way to test. When all else fails, try to go the simplest method possible first. If you got extra jumpers, try extra jumpers. If you don't have, if it still stays the same without the jumpers, or add the jumpers in, then you'll have to kind of diagnose a little bit further down the line. This process of elimination is what I would go for. Now, if you can safely mono, like hook it up just to one side without the duplexer in line, you could also bypass the duplexer and just check through the coax and see if there's any issues there. Okay, so let me look back and see what you said. Running a G Master 2 on the UHF band, and it just takes it, doesn't die. I have checked the antenna and the duplexer, it's just the jumpers. Just probably a poor termination. It happens all the time. I've seen, especially on RG-8U, when you take a regular UHF connector like this, and you're trying to solder each one of these connections, a lot of times it won't take, and then you'll have it break loose as you just move it around. You got to watch with your PVC jacketed cables how much heat you put on them, so you can't copy what I did with this fluoropolymer wire. This has got an FEP jacket with a PTFE dielectric, so it can take well over 500 degrees for extended durations. So me heating up this jacket is not really a problem at all for it. It's the second time I've done that. I'm usually pretty darn particular. Let me hop over to Facebook, not neglect them guys real quick, and see what they got to say. Let me go over here. Facebook fellas. Hey, what's up, DC1? Hope you're doing well, man. I apologize for not responding to you quick enough. At one of these points in time, I'm going to figure out how to put everybody's chats all into one, and we can kind of discuss this all together. But I definitely have a hard time sometimes with this right now, trying to keep up with everybody. Let's go back over here to, where's my TikTok guys? TikTok. Alright, there we go. No, I'm on YouTube. TikTok has got a unique camera angle though. That's the one that does have a something unique. Tell me if it's pausing and playing on TikTok for sure. I would definitely would like to know. But no, I'm live on YouTube and live on Twitch and Facebook and then TikTok. Let me hop back over and see if I can help on this thing. I'll deal with that later. Waving a hand. What's up, Jacob, man? Hope you're doing well. Let me go back over YouTube. Alright. Think about some cables from you. Thanks for the help. Copy the Salt Lake Youth Club. Cool. Appreciate you, KK7s, man. I am, whatever you like, I'll be happy to build it for you. I've got RG-390. I don't have a lot of the smaller coaxes. Let me just be fair, though, because a lot of stuff I'll have is 7/8, inch and 5/8, half-inch flex. I've got some RG-400. I've got some RG-393. But I don't have a whole lot of like your smaller cables and stuff, like your LMR 400, your LMR 600, your RG-213, RG-8U, RG-8X, stuff like that. I won't have those. But yeah, I'm happy to get whatever you like. All right, so we're gonna scoot over and move to the bird meter setup. So we're just going to test right y'all. I'm going to zoom out real quick. Probably working good on your end. That's awesome. I don't know what's happening on the computer over there. We got a 2 gig service over here, and this setup over here is it's just getting on my nerves. I've only got 100 megs out to my shop, but to be fair, I'm like 500 plus foot away from the actual router, so I'd assume I'm somewhere around that length. I'd really want to actually measure it and see. We're gonna run a Cat 8 line out most likely, or either just get a much nicer Wi-Fi mesh network router. But like I've got to go up to like a Wi-Fi 7 router just to pass these speeds. And it's fun. it ain't gonna be good. All right. So I've got a 140 foot at 4 foot of sample line that's got to be built, but I'll build that later. I've got another, what is this, 24 foot and 9 foot of RG-393 that's got to be built, but I got some parts coming out of California for that one. The 7/8, I've got some parts coming out of Florida on that one, and then all these jumpers will be done here shortly. I'll probably end up finishing them later tonight. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Let me clean up a little bit. Give me just a few seconds before I go into picking all this stuff. So we're going to pull a bird meter down, which is going to be... Where is the bird meter that I got? I pulled it down. Oh, okay. Well, you guys get to see something even cooler. Let me go down here real quick. So we're going to move the camera back down over here. We're going to move this camera back down over here, and you guys are going to see something pretty neat. I'm going to show you guys how to do something pretty sweet. Alright, give me a second. I'm going to have to rearrange some jumpers here in a little while, but set this in line. This customer probably wants a female on both ends. This bird meter is currently sold, so I'm going to throw this bird meter in line right here. This is a lot more this off of here. Anybody wants any bird stuff from me? I've got pretty good. I got all of them new, of course, but I've got a good portion of used connectors, used slugs in the HF spectrum. I got a bunch. I've got several up in VHF, and then I've got access to hundreds more used and new. Anybody wants bird stuff? I've got a lot of it. So I'll put that back in line right there. Where's this going? I've got this run over here. Let's take this. Let's just hook this over here. See if I can get away with that. I don't know if I'll be able to do it or not. My poor VNA. I've got to get this thing back together, but I got it shipped to me. It had a problem. It was working before I ordered it, but I got it in here and the shipment killed it. So it's unfortunate, but it happens. So let's let you guys see what's going to happen next. We're going to take and make a bird peak meter. So let's put you guys at a better angle so you guys can see what's going on. We're going to change out a connector. Alright. Let's go ahead and drop you guys on TikTok down. Give me a second. Down we go. Down, down, down. Sorry, I'm I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing to drop all the way. What's it doing? Alright, that should be a good angle for you guys. So, should be a pretty decent angle for over there on Facebook and YouTube. Oh yeah, if anybody wants anything from me, I apologize, I missed the opportunity. It's dwinsrfsupply.com. Again, it's dwinsrfsupply.com. That's where my stuff is. I'll have I don't know. Cletus, you can make me one of those. Like this, something like that. It says dwinsrfsupply.com. I got my little thing from, I think it was Postman over in Kentucky, and Cletus built me that one. Cletus has built me, I guess we do have a dwinsrfsupply.com. It's right over here. So I'll show you guys on YouTube. See right there? Cletus made it fancy for me. Hang on a second. Let's show you what he did. Let's kick my light off over here. Let's make her pretty. Ta-da! See? They're pretty cool. He lit that booger up. It's my bird slug holder. I don't put it in the videos enough, unfortunately. I should do it some more. Let's go back over here. And let's go back over here. Yeah, I guess I could show you. Alright, slugs available. If anybody's looking for slugs, I've got... I think I'm kind of low on them now. So, we've got 2,500 for your 3 1/8 inch line section. 50K for your 3 1/8 inch line section. Let's wipe off this poor little camera. What's going on with that camera? That's better, maybe. Not so bad. Then you got just a little bit larger for 3 1/8 inch line section. Another one. I got a 1 5/8 line section there. 3 1/8 line section there. Then I got a 10 watt, a 25 watt, 25 watt, a 25 watt for higher frequency, for basically your 2 meter stuff, a lot, all the way up to 250 meg. 50 watt, 25 watt, another 25 watt, a 10 kilowatt. I've got a 10 kilowatt for 400 to 1,000 megahertz right there. I've got a 50 watt for 25 to 60, another 50 for 25 to 60, 10 watt, 100 watt, another 1,000 watt for the 10 watt to 10,000 watt slug, and a 50 watt. And then this 2,500 watts gone. But yeah, bunch of little bird slugs. Alright, let me get back to work. Oh, that's cool. I just made the comments pop up like huge on TikTok. Alright. Back over here. Let's get to work on this bird meter. I think I'll put you guys in that spot right there. And I think I'll put you guys right there. Maybe. I think it's probably better for you guys to be more of an angle than. So, we need to change from flat to Phillips. Let's find my handy dandy. Where is my Phillips head? I messed around and took my tools outside, and then I lost a bunch of them. I didn't lose them. They're just somewhere else in my shop and not where I want to use them. Oh. So, let's get back to work. So what we're doing now is we're setting up a bird meter with a peak kit. This is a factory peak kit, and this has got to go. This is going to this customer right here. Well, he's picking it up locally. I'm actually doing something kind of unique for him. Hold on a second. Alright. Slide that booger forward. Pull this booger out of here. Luckily, I've already tested this peak kit, so it is verified, functioning, and operational. That's the one cool thing about being able to test stuff and having all the test equipment here. I don't have to worry about selling something that's not going to work. It is very pleasant to know that. I try to make sure that whatever leaves my shop has been tested, is working, and doing what it needs to be doing. Normally, I don't do these videos particularly live just because they may not be as interesting, but I've learned to quit underestimating you guys. You guys may end up liking these videos more, so if you do, then hey, it's all fine with me. I don't care. I got to do it anyway, so might as well let you guys hang out and see me. So, in just a second, loosen that up a little bit more. Ain't much interesting about this. I just got to get it attached, and then we've got to test it out from here. I suppose the testing in aspect is pretty fun. I might have to get another slug. I didn't think about that. No, I got one right there. We're good. You guys made me question myself for a second there. Nothing you guys did. I just thought I was missing something for a moment. All right. So here is I gotta get just any sort of pick. This tool right here. I gotta rotate it in place. There we go. So line it up on the screws. Well, this is the last cosmetic portion, but I'm going to be getting this portion right because it's irritating me. So let me loosen this up real quick. When you line these screws up, there we go. So I'm going to pull this off and do this by hand. Sorry about the video might not be in the shot. Yeah, YouTube can see, Facebook, no, TikTok can mostly see. I'm not trying to hide it from you guys, but I'm not about to lose my progress here. There we are. So now, from there we need some batteries. This customer is getting basically a new meter from me. Or not a new meter, but I guess what you saw, I don't know what you'd say. They're getting everything from me. They're paying me. They're not paying for me to repair something they have. So if they're getting everything from me, then I'm going to make sure that the batteries are as new as it can be. I've got a bunch of batteries over there for myself, but none for customers sitting over there. I got brand new ones, but I bought 72 freaking batteries, so I didn't run out anytime soon. So, working on a bird meter right here. I'll be done with this here shortly. I've already done testing on this, so I will verify that it's working, but I've already verified this movement and verified this peak kit before. So I'm not super concerned about it's working or not working. I'm just mainly wanting it to get put together properly. So this is one of the newer movements. What's going on? Oh, maybe I need to pull the bottom one in. Remember something about one of these things being a little particular. I don't know, we'll see in a second. Oh. This is the nitpicky, tedious stuff that gets annoying to people, but it's not too bad. It just takes a little bit of not biting. Check and see if it's just a knot. This one. Alright, so since it wants to be a pain, pull this one out, pull this out, take a look, line it up, see if it screws on. If it don't screw on, then we'll know something's wrong. Alright, that's the problem. So from here, I'm going to figure out how to fix the problem. The funny thing is, it wasn't a problem before I started this video, but it's easy enough to fix. What you'll do when you're working with stuff like this, get a pair of pliers. I can use my big ones if I need to. I got my small ones somewhere else. Line this booger up. As much as I would like for this to be a perfect process and need nothing, that is not the case sometimes. These are stainless screws, so they fall out, so don't get too, don't put them in a place where you're worried about them falling, because they're gonna, sure as the world, drop out on you. Alright, next. Alright, let me hop back over here on YouTube, on Facebook, excuse me. Minimize you guys on YouTube, Facebook, waving a hand. Hope you guys are doing well. Well, thank you for all the likes there on TikTok there. That's awesome. And I don't think anybody taps like the like whatever thing. I'm not sure if you can do that on Facebook or not. But you don't see many people tap that thing all the time. All right, but I do appreciate it. I think it helps my analytics. I'm sure it's absolutely appreciated. So we're doing some bird work here. If anybody doesn't know how to change out one of these connectors on the bird, it's not too bad. So we're going from an N type right here. We could go all the way up to a big old LC right here if we wanted to. We could go over to a let's just rip it out, who cares. Could go over to a DIN connector right here, something like that. There's a bunch of different choices you can go to. In this particular instance, I'm going to go over to a just regular UHF. So what I like to do is make sure my pins are nice and solid. Once they make contact, and actually hold in there pretty solid. And the drill's right here. Tighten her up. Now, since I'm kind of picky, and I'm kind of allowed to be, since it's my stuff that I'm selling, I don't like stuff when it doesn't match. So what I'm going to do is change out this one too. They look pretty similar, but they don't look exactly the same. So I can match them up. And besides, that one's a little loose anyway, so we'll tighten her up. So, got a new one we're throwing on here. There we go. Let me hop back over on TikTok and say what's up to you guys. Minimize this. Where's TikTok at? There she blows. All right. I missed some of these comments. Y'all having fun in here. Alright, so let's test this bird setup out right here. So now I've got to do a little bit of tracing, so mainly just if people need to do testing like this, when they're testing something up, they'll be on top of a ladder or something, they'll have it tied in line to the top of one of the broadcast supplies. That's why it has that. It's not for most guys' intended applications, for sure. Let me rotate around here. Alright, so we'll zoom out over here for the YouTube. Should be zoomed up pretty far right there. Alright. Now I gotta rotate and find a lot of my cables. So let me get my little old man pad right here. Even though I got a bench and everything else, I gotta get my knee pads up first. Turn you guys over a little further so you guys don't have to see me hopping in the way. So I'm just going to locate everything on the bench real quick. Make sure I grab all my wires. Alright, so you are feeding up here to that connection here. That feeds in down here. That feeds in from that. input comes in over here. Knocked my bench over. So this is going here. This one over here. Alright, and this we've already figured out where this goes. I want to go here. I'll move that. So we'll take something out of line real quick. I'm going to pull this one out right here. I want to eventually put it there. Run it here and here. For that at some point. In the meantime, we'll throw a smaller slug in on it. Very soon, this will be wired in line, and we'll have a really cool setup going. But in the meantime, this is how it's going to have to work. Input coming from there. So now, from there, instead of going over here, I'm not that concerned about this because it's all into one, but we need to run a test here very soon, so in order to finish this test I've got to do a few things. Alright, so now I got my little cheating little camera real quick. We'll be modifying this real quick. It gets a mess over here. Let's just move the mess behind the bird meter, the bird slugs. That just looks ugly. Even though it's a lot of cool stuff. Look, everything's out of sight, out of mind. When you don't see it, it's gone. All that mess didn't exist. It's not even there no more. Perfectly clean bench. Alright, give me a second. I've got to get a little spot here that I can use. Where the heck did I put that thing? You see my little cheating tool? It's my mirror. My mirror. Alright. Alright, sweet. That's all exactly what I needed. Okay. So now reach my hand right down here. Alright, so now, bench is mostly wired back up. Ideally, it'd be nice if I had like a little intra material so I could set this booger right there in the middle. That'd be pretty nice. But I can't, so it's fine. I'll deal with it later. Got my little mirror going. I'm about to run our test and get my butt to work. So sometimes stuff takes a little bit longer than you want it to, but it's the name of the game sometimes. You can't. I would joke and be cocky, but I'm sure as the world that something come up and I'll mess it up. Now, I went ahead and accidentally made a mistake the other day. I was working with a tester piece of 393, and I was, let's just say, not being super easy with it. And I don't know what I did, but I damaged it. And it's the 393 I use on my bench, so let me fix it real quick. On live, you guys can see me work on a piece of 393. I gotta throw another end on it real quick. I don't damage my stuff too much. Why? I gotta like verify myself on TikTok or else it kills my lives apparently. Alright, that's ready to go back on. We're good to go with that. This can go in the trash. But our last piece of the puzzle is right here. And I damaged, unfortunately for me, some unobtainium. And we just so happen to be lucky that I happen to be pretty good at finding unobtainium. So there's one of them right here. It's a very hard to find internal connection, or at least it was for me when I went to look. Good Lord. Daggum nightmare. So I was tuning an antenna and I damaged this piece right here. So we will go ahead and repair that real quick. Have I got the camera at the right spot for TikTok? I don't know because it keeps pausing. I'm going to zoom back in on over here. Let you guys see me work on this 393. Pull you guys back over here on Facebook, on TikTok. I'll do the bird meter in just a second, but this is part of that. You guys get to see me repair my own bench. But I snatched on this end and pulled out the Teflon. See? So if you're not careful, you can break your Teflon. So this is a warning to all you guys who are rough on your coaxes. Teflon will not take the abuse that your, what is it, polyester something, and your Bakelite will handle. It won't take that type of abuse. You can't beat it up. You can try, but you're going to end up damaging something. I damaged, so far, one random piece of 393 by over-tightening it, and I damaged my own by throwing it down from a 60-foot or 30-foot high platform. So both decisions were kind of dumb, to be honest. But one was entirely preventable, but it was entirely my fault. Let me hop in here and try to say. Unit 10, hello, hello, hope you're doing well. Big Pen, hello. Taterhead, hello. Jeremy, hello. Cletus, waving a hand, man. Hope you guys are doing well. But yeah, this was entirely my fault. You don't throw a coax down from 30 foot in the air and assume that nothing's ever going to happen to it. So. That's what happens when you're dumb. It's the price you pay. Okay, so now I've got to modify this slightly. Nothing crazy, I just got to measure this real quick with my eyeball. Line everything up. This is going to line up just like that. That's going to set up right there. This is going to set up there. I'm not really concerned about that. I'm going to knock this end off right here. Let me back up the camera towards me a little bit. That is hot. I'm being a little overzealous because this is nice and warm right now, so. But, yeah, this is what pride gets you right here. A broken coax. Oh, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Yeah, that's what I get. Famous last words. Watch this. I told the guy that was helping me, I was like, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Let's throw it down there. And sure as the world, I'll look at it later on like, oh crap. Whoops. Reduce it to ring and body. Now I wasted a piece of unobtainium on myself, but it definitely could have been a lot worse, to be honest. Could have like broke the whole coax in half or did something even worse than this. You guys see? I can't freaking keep my city quad. Quad antennas are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. There is an inherent problem with the design. So when you build a quad antenna and you tell somebody about a quad antenna, a lot of times they'll look at something and they will they'll kind of get a little number happy, and they'll look at the numbers and they'll be, well, look how much a quad can do. Blah, 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 blah. They'll talk about some ungodly large number, something just crazy. Hello, hello. And the problem is, I know too many RF engineers for that to kind of slide by. You can't add and stack gain figures the way they do. It's not how it works. So.
I'm back!
I don't really know what the reference is, but sure.
Really? Ranger said good evening, D-Red.
Hello, hello, Ranger. Hope you're doing well.
In the Magnolia. Where's that at?
You don't know what a mag is? In the Magnolia. Mississippi.
Oh. I wanted you to show Heather your stuff, but you're still alive.
She can check it out. I don't care.
Yeah, but I can't tell her what it is.
You can tell her
This
what
will
it is.
kill you. This will kill you.
You can show her.
That's all I know.
Oh, I can show her.
Why do you have 2 views?
Because one's TikTok and Facebook, and then I couldn't figure out how to put. Actually, one's YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. The other one is TikTok.
You're streaming on Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch is. Twitch is probably the least popular of all of them.
Yeah. Look at all your people on TikTok.
Cletus is in there.
Look at y'all. Cletus is everywhere.
Cletus, you're everywhere. You hear that?
You're everywhere, Cletus. Cletus makes all the cool stuff and the hats. Yeah. And this thing. Come look at this thing. It has a light. It's on, but you can't tell what the light's on. But it holds the slugs. Those are called slugs.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but it's got a backlight behind it. It's got it set to red.
I think it's a fixed red.
I can't see
had
this one.
He had a color changing one at one point.
I don't think that one's fixed. I think it does change. I can't read because you got that stupid screen protector on there.
Look, you got to just go over
I can see
here.
that.
There's Facebook. There's not a lot of people on Facebook. I don't know what's going on with Facebook tonight. And then
It knows you're cheating on them.
Yeah.
With YouTube and TikTok and Twitch.
And there's YouTube right there.
Oh, look at all of them.
There was a lot more on there earlier. A lot more yesterday, actually, in YouTube.
Thursday night, everybody's at the ball field.
Everybody's in the ball field.
It's ball season. Today's opening day for baseball.
Open
That's what they're
day.
doing. They got the game on.
Open day for baseball. Nice. Well, let me finish soldering this, and then I'll show y'all real quick. So when you solder right here, you gotta hold the iron on the source, and you want to add the solder to. Got another one coming in.
You should be sponsored by Ryobi.
I got a T-shirt from him. Talking about my Ryobi wall in the back. I got a.
Uh-huh. The drill press.
That should send you something.
It keeps going. If we ever get the shop clean enough,
Yeah, it needs to be cleaned pretty bad, but
we can put spotlights on your Ryobi.
it's on my Ryobi. Yeah. Brag about my Ryobi stuff.
This is supposed to be my area. I make puzzles here.
So we're just fixing some 393 that I screwed up, guys.
This is what I made.
You made that? Ooh, careful. You sure Daddy what you made? That's really cool. Did you see what your kid made?
I'd have to see it again. I can't turn around right now.
I don't know why, but it's got a sawzall blade on it.
I did that.
Oh, there's one.
Eh? What did you make?
It was the.
Let me see.
He said, "Huh?"
Oh, you didn't make it. Oh, you put it together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. I was like, what? I thought you were somebody.
Cletus is laughing. I can hear Cletus sometimes down here in Macon. How about that?
Cletus making the trip all the way to Macon. Let me go back over here to TikTok so I can say hello. Hello,
Is this
Randy.
one
Hope you're doing well.
Is this
That's
one on Twitch?
That's TikTok.
This one is?
Yeah, Twitch,
This ain't
YouTube.
TikTok.
Yeah, it is.
I really don't think it is.
TikTok Live, honey. No, that's TikTok.
I like how I'm going to come in here and argue with you about what you have going. But it don't look like TikTok.
It's TikTok Live. It's not normal TikTok.
I've been guardian. These are Aubrey's gloves. They're too small. He's correcting me. We're on the TikTok. Ranger, this is TikTok. Listen! You're supposed to side with me, even if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no. We can be right on the internet as long as our wives aren't nearby.
Oh, I think I just break a hair tie. Did you see his trophy? know what he got that for.
It says it on the front. Oh, I guess it don't. You can't see
Well,
it.
I can't see.
No, you can't read the front. It's covered up right now.
He got best dressed man.
Alright. So, I'll show y'all real quick. I'll let you guys.
Cletus said, "Can you build my coax?" You want me to build it, Cletus?
Look, here's the.
I will absolutely build your coax.
Hang on, let's try to see if I can switch the camera around. Can I
You
swap
want
it?
to show him my overalls?
No, I'm trying to flip the camera. Look,
I'm so
look, there's the
cute.
Ryobi wall back here.
Yeah, there it is.
So there's just a few
Yes.
different Ryobi parts. So we'll flip this back around. The wife wanted. There we go. And we're back over here. So I'm gonna work on this bird meter in just a second. So I want to put this back in line right over here. Give me just a second. Okay.
For it.
So
Okay.
that big blue cabinet, I'm showing them the big blue cabinet. Anything in here, touch it, anything in here. Do not touch it. If it's on, but even if it's off,
Don't ever touch it.
Don't touch it.
That's the.
All that stuff can kill you. Everything inside there.
Including if it's off.
Including if
One
it's off,
touch?
it can still kill you.
One touch. Bleh.
And you dead. Yep, that's it.
You go.
Alright, let's look at this bird meter real quick, guys.
You'll go. Bleh. That's a gas tank.
We're teaching children high voltage safety and adults.
The safety is don't touch it.
Don't touch it, you'll die. That's your easy answer. So we'll tie in this piece of 393 right here for now. So we're tied straight into our dummy load over here.
For this thing, I could have went down a size.
Now,
Ian wants to buy one of your hats.
okay. We'll talk about it soon. So now we need to. Oh, actually, excuse me. I was about getting ready to.
Cletus said I'm going to agree with the one that builds my coax. I'll remember that.
Yeah,
I will
yeah. No more
absolutely-
deer chili for him right now. You
No
have to
more
do-
deer chili. You're cut off.
Yeah,
No more banana pudding.
banana pudding. When did he have banana pudding?
I made it the year before last.
Oh, okay. All right.
You're done.
You're done.
No more peddling your wares.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't look at Cletus's stuff. It's everywhere on D-Win's bench, but don't look at Cletus's stuff. Look away. All right. So I've got to tie to anything over here. I've got a keyer. What do I got? I need to get a different keyer. I don't have anything else. Come on.
And you all actually walk around with your girls. Match made in heaven.
Alright, so see that. So now swap this out right here. Proper slug. Put this thing in the low scale. We go the other way, and we going out to the antenna. Decent amount of carrier. Check from there. I can put a smaller slug in, I guess. Let's see. This would be on 0.3. This would be on 3. Alright. catching up. We don't need the audio right now. Alright, so now I need to hook up. I guess do this. This is going into a dummy load. Alright, so plate current's low enough. We can go ahead and kill it. Let's go. Why are we doing that? So we gotta see if I did something stupid while I was busy fiddling with that piece earlier. I may have, I don't know if I did, but I may have made a mistake on my end. Luckily it's entirely fixable, so it's right over here. So I'll just leave that over there for a second. It'll take me a second to move this. So I gotta see if I've got two leads. They're incorrect. The only reason I could think of that I drive the meter movement backwards. Alright, hope you guys are doing well on YouTube over there. Hope Facebook's doing okay. Facebook's kind of quiet tonight. Yep, that's what I did. It's pretty cool though to actually see that. Alright, let me get my needle nose. Just a second. You're gonna put 2 screws in and then I'll be done. And we'll be back to work. We'll be cooking with peanut oil then. Okay, this is got some spring to it. One more screw. Solutions are to be had. That's the cool thing about knowing what you're teching. When you see something that looks off, you're like, ah, yeah, that don't look right. Let me fix that. What else don't look right? This irritating freaking screw in this corner, or there we go. Next, put it back together. Nice to know I can troubleshoot. It's better if I don't troubleshoot my own problems. Still, meter movement needs to be over there. Next. So, we'll move our scale up. I need to engage. I've got to build a daggum cable. But in the meantime, where did I put the other one? Maybe I can do this. Backwards. Backwards. I got just a few cables to work with. I literally tied a knot with a cable. Probably not the smartest thing to do, but take one of our longer cables real quick and I'll run it. And then all I've got to do is this rod shot. So I made something really weird. I'm not really bragging. It's more of a, like, what the heck made you think of that? So, let me show you guys what I did. Get all this wire untangled real quick in just a second. Alright. The bird is the word. Okay. That digital looks pricey but cool. The digitals, it is pricey. It's about $1,500. But it's pretty neat. We're about to test with the digital anyway. I'd say the digital is a little bit looser than what the original bird is. So something to take with a grain of salt. But you ready for this? Watch my little hobo set up real quick. Where's it at? I got one right here. Where to put it? I gotta move my pucks out of the way. Ah, there it is. Right here. See? Look at this. You ready to see what I do with it? See that? You ready? If you guys hadn't figured it out yet, I'm keying with that. Look, that is my homemade keyer. So until I get the rest of my keyer wired up, that's what I'm hooking up for now temporarily. So that puts me where I can do this and then do that, and then I can change some carrier settings. Make sure I don't overdrive the grid. Not overdriving anything. That's the input going out. So it's a decent carrier for sure. So we're just tuning my key for now just to see. Alright, it don't have to be perfect. Now I'm going to take another one of these jacks and build something different. Oh, you guys got both my daggum phones. Alright, well, we're about to try something different anyway. You literally have both. I have both of my phones taken up right now, so I can't do the signal generator the way I like. But I am going to do another signal generator. And we are going to run another cable. We'll just try this out. I might have to get daggum freaking 4 phones or something. We're live on 2 phones right now. Alright, so we'll plug this in over here. We'll unmute our audio and we'll see if we can. Let's do a headset just for once. So let's go over here to YouTube land. Where does YouTube at? YouTube. Alright, here we go. So now I gotta key the right one. Let's see if I modulate. Haha! Success! So I'm looking at this meter back here for the wattage going out. So I'm keying, modulating right there. So I could probably increase level real quick. Level was increased. There we go. Woohoo! This is some stuff right here. Let me zoom out real quick so you guys can see what I'm doing over on TikTok. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit more. Yeah, watch this. So I increased level. I got level going in. And now I can see what I'm doing there. I'll check my grid right there. Grid's not too high. Modulate it there. That's hilarious. Okay, so now I know that's what's going on. We'll check it and see. So, let's see what I got going on right here. Alright, I know what I should expect over here. And check it on peak. We got new batteries. Ta-da! Whoop whoop! Okay, we're within about 100 bird where we need to be for bird peak. So you guys can see right over here what we're reading there and reading there. Ta-da! Sweet. So that's a good way to check the meter. I can go a little further and so you guys can see it, because I'm sure you guys would like it. Let's just throw. This won't be accurate, so don't take it as accurate. But we'll throw this in here. Alright, outputs that way, inputs this way. There we go. Scale. So now we can check the scale. .600 average. .2 kilowatts peak. That's what it's showing on the other. Ta-da! See, let me zoom. 1.2 kW. Let's zoom over there. 1.2 kW. So now we're going to pull this off, unkey, and I want to pull this out of here. And we'll check it on the bird peak. And we're about, I would say, 1100 or so on the other meter. You can kind of zoom in and see we're over the 1000, but we're not quite at that 1200 watt mark. We're close, but not quite. So that's what she looks like right there. It's on the bad spot over here on this, the parallax error on the YouTube and Facebook. It definitely looks like 1000, but it's not. It's well over. All right, so that is it. We tested the meter. Everything's working properly. It's doing accurate. Works the way it needs to. But yeah, you want to see my hobo keyer? Let's look at it real quick. So what I did was I run a keying circuit on this setup right here. Let me zoom out real quick. So I have a keying circuit coming down, and this is going to a keyer. What I normally do is I'll swap this over to an RCA like this, but I'll run this to a keyer, and then all I'm doing is my finger is the keyer. It's keying it. that's how it works. All right, guys. That is today's video. That was fun. We tested a bird meter. I think I'm going to finish 2 of these coaxes, and then I will be finished up for the evening. But yeah, that was my fun. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was this was a bit of a long video for not a lot of stuff getting done. You can see I literally had to wreck my bench just to be able to test something again because I got it tore apart right now. But yeah, this is what we were messing with today. See you, Cleta. See you, Pigpen. See you, Gavin. Hope you guys are doing well, man. Anybody else hopped in here, hope you guys are doing well also. Unit 10, hope you're doing well, man. Phil, hope you're doing well. Ranger, good evening, man. Waving a hand. Who else I missed? Taterhead, Jeremy. See y'all. Catch y'all later. Appreciate you. And I'll be back probably, what is it? I might be back on Friday or Saturday. I don't know. We'll see. There we go. And see y'all on Facebook and YouTube.